It's like, Paul will tell you, when you're a player, Pleaty came to Tottenham, we didn't like changing. We had a way of playing, so he got rid of us. Because we didn't like changing.
Chelsea should be accustomed to change.
Yeah, no, but when he went in there, he tried to do too quickly. You know, he tried to do frank, and the players just ganged up on him. And I went the wrong way, and I've apologized. I went and met him, and I said, look, I got it wrong. I think you look fantastic. And I went and met him at the training ground, which I know a lot of you have never been there, but it's unbelievable. And that's why I can see why the chairman brought him in. Because if you go to the training ground, you've got all these mechanics, and oh, it's unbelievable. With DVD machines, it's got everything. Harry don't know what button to push. True. So we've gone to that next level now, where I don't think Harry could have took us there. Harry's old school. He's good. He's good for the likes of Queen's Park Rangers. He's good for Portsmouth and Southampton, them teams. He done well for us. Don't get us wrong. He got us in the Champions League twice, but we got kicked out because of Chelsea. But I think we can go to the next level now, because you go to the training ground, they've got everything, the boys. The pitch is the same as what it is at White Hart Lane.
Same size.
Same size. Even got underfloor heating. Training pitch. They've got 17 of them, I think. Is that right? 17 training pitches. They've got AstroTurf pitch. They've got an indoor one. They've got a swimming pool. They've got everything. 40 odd million, I think. 48 million. 45 million. It's the best in the world. I was in Asia, and I went to America, and not one training complex is anywhere near what that was. It is the best in the world.
You've got all aspirations, do you?
And the chairman, we all want to go in, but at the end of it, he's done it right. He's doing it gradually. You know, we're not like if Chelsea, when he walks out tomorrow, Chelsea goes, we've got it the right way. We're doing it gradually. And now we've got a beautiful stadium going to come. I think we're very lucky. I think, you know, what he's doing is fantastic. But ABB and Harry, totally different concepts.
Just on that training pitch, sense, you know, you haven't been, you've got to go and look. I'm not sure they'll open day one day. Is obviously you've got the grass and plastic mix today, which most clubs have. Well, also I asked ABB in October when we went along there, a lot of the ex-players, about does it make any difference to will it help signing players and youngsters? And he said, just an example, he said that we signed Dembele and Dempsey start the season just before the deadline. He said, as you mentioned with Dembele, you know, he's Belgian international, you work the right way, he's seen lots of it. He said, as for Dempsey, you know, he's American. So he's seen the best training facilities in the world that there are, all over America, obviously all over the world. He said, the two of them were knocked out by it. He said, but they couldn't wait to sign. He said, so we've made a world-class statement by having this training ground. Okay, I know you're saying it's a bit, but if you work out now, the players only go to White Hart Lane to play. They never go there any other time. So they're spending 98% of their time at the training ground. And just as an analogy, Alex Ferguson was asked last year, what's the biggest difference at Man United now and 10 years ago, 20 years ago? And he said the training ground. You know, Man United is like NASA when you go there, apparently, their training ground. They've got all the machines. They've even with Rio, I spoke to Rio Ferdinand last year, he said they've got a vitamin D machine where the black players who you know, need more vitamin D in the winter than the white players go in and have a half an hour's sun treatment. And that's true. And by the way, I don't think it does them any harm, does it? Ryan Giggs, Rio Ferdinand, Valencia, whatever. So that's how much they're looking. So if Alex Ferguson say the training ground has been the biggest difference, that's how important it is. So I think you know, it has definitely helped them. I mean, we've got things like hydropool. What's the thing when you're around on the moon? The weightless machines, yeah?
Zero gravity.
Yeah, zero gravity. You've got these machines like running on the moon, yeah? You know, you can't feel anything, you're sweating. So that's obviously great when you're coming back from injuries. So these machines, you know, they're 200-300 grand at a time. So the club have invested, unbelievable. And just as a funny thing, Martin Peaks, who's from the old school, said to ABB when we were out there this day, he said to him, well, you know, 45 million, don't you think that's a lot of money for a training ground? And we said, Martin, it's only a couple of decent players. And if you think about it logically, it is, isn't it? You know, the training ground's going to be forever. It's obviously going to help our academy boys get the youngsters in, because the dad's going to look, he's going to look at London Colney and Arsenal, he's going to look at Cobham and Chelsea, which is, London Colney's ancient actually. Cobham's not bad, but it's very much for the first team. You know, you're a dad and you've got young Johnny who's 12 years old, you make a decision, you're going to go into the training ground at Cruise Hill, it's going to blow your mind away. And you say, yeah, come on lad, this is where you're going to learn your stuff. So I think we'll benefit from it in the long term. Any more questions?
Present company accepted. Who's the best Spurs player?
Present company accepted.
Actually, was my best one.
Actually, I'll tell the story about Robbo a little bit. Graham didn't come to the club in 1980, and by then, you know, a lot of the lads had been through the ranks and joined, and we were very close set. And Robbo was one of the. I think Robbo and Ray Clemens were the last two pieces of the jigsaw actually, because the Garth and Archie had arrived. Yes, just saying, yeah. So Graham came, and I had different partners. I was obviously a young man myself, but I'd been playing with John Lacey and Jimmy Holmes and Steve Perryman and Don McAllister, all, you know, very capable footballers, but didn't quite go together. And Rob obviously came and had sort of same, I'll put this right, the same mentality as me to think, you know, thou shalt not pass. And when you're playing in a team like we played in, it was often like us two against the cavalry, yeah? We had Steve Perryman and Chris Hughes flying up the wing, and the midfield weren't even there anyway in front. You know, when you've got Ozzy, Ricky and Glenn doing their magic, which is what they're there for, you know, it was often, we'll have these four and we're alright, yeah? So obviously we had to, you know, whittle it down a bit sometimes, so it wasn't always, that's how it was actually. And I think Graham and I got a rapport going. We knew how to play, we could look at each other, we knew how to play offside. We played a hell of an offside line, because we knew we had a lightning quick keeper who was like a sweeper, wasn't he, Ray Clemens? He was a nasty sod as well, because forwards going over the top, they didn't want to go near Clem because they know what they're doing. Clem quite liked doing that, by the way. He was an assassin, Clem. So we've got this little thing going, and all I would say, the biggest compliment to Graham is that I meet lots of ex-players who we played against. Tony Woodcock, Andy Gray, Graham Sharp, Cyril Regis, just to name sure a few, and these are all top players and also very tough boys themselves, no you know, half measures. And none of them, all of them say to me, none of us like playing against you too. I won't use the words they say, but they said they weren't all there. All I'm saying was it worked for us, it was good, and Graham was one of the last pieces in the jigsaw, and I think you talk about great players, it takes everyone to play. I think both of us would say that Ozzy and Glenn were magnificent, and I personally thought Ozzy was a better player than Glenn. Other people think, obviously, the reason I think Ozzy was a better player than Glenn, he was more consistent, and he made Glenn a better player. He made Glenn a better player. So that's why I think he is, but that's my opinion anyway.
I remember when I first started playing in football, I was at Portsmouth, and we got drawn against Tottenham in the Youth Cup. And the first leg we played at Tottenham, I played centre forward, and we came up against each other.